welcome to another The Larry's Pop Pod Mini Pop Edition. I'm Chris Larry.
I'm Amelia Larry.
And in this mini pop, we're going to continue featuring our Jamz, The Larry's Pop Pod Spotify playlist. So we'll break that down. We got 25 new songs coming out of the winter season straight to you to go to the top of your personal charts. But first, I've got a little bit of house cleaning that actually connects to the playlist a bit. We have a very special announcement. Amelia, why don't you give him what the announcement is?
Spotify has just accepted for our podcast to be on their app.
That's right. The Larry's Pop Pod can now be found on Spotify. I want to give a big shout out to the podcasting service Pippa that we use for all of our podcasting needs. They've got a partnership with Spotify and they helped us get on there. But we are just super excited to be on Spotify. You can find the link in the show notes. You can search the Larry's Pop Pod on the app or on the website. And Amelia, why do you think it's important for the podcast to be on Spotify?
Well, if you are a Spotify user, whenever you hear a song, you go like, oh, I want to make a playlist with that song. Or when you want to tell it to other people, you go to Spotify and say, oh, there's this cool song. But now Spotify has a new feature. Well, not that new, but they have podcasts, and we got accepted onto that. So that's where a lot of people listen to podcasts.
That's right. So if you're a Spotify fanatic, you're using it for all your music, your playlist needs, and now your podcast needs, we can be right there with you. You don't have to leave the app to listen to the Larry's Pop Pod. And that sort of brings us to an interesting thing about today's episode is that we're featuring our new Spotify Jamz Volume 3, the Larry's Pop Pod playlist. Amelia, tell me a little bit about just this playlist in general. What's your feeling on it?
This playlist has been like a lot of late 2017, early 2018 songs, I feel like. And they're just really, really good. I think this might be our best one. I'm
with you. I think it might be our best playlist. It's the most diverse. It has a lot of different kinds of songs, different genres, different styles. There's sort of a good mix of female and male vocals. I really like the diversity in this mix. It's got some songs that are really new. It also goes deep into the classics. And it really does represent what we've been listening to sort of this winter. What are some things that we've been doing this winter where these songs have either kind of gotten into our heads or that we've really enjoyed listening to these songs?
Well, as you know, like, a lot of this was new things. So they'd be like, new trending songs, you know? And so that'd be like Taylor Swift, like we talked about, or Pink, like we talked about. Or they could be, like, really old ones that just happened to come up, like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Probably really old, I think. Like,
oh, yeah, real old.
2008?
2008? That song's from, like, 1967.
Well, okay, very old. And that song just randomly appeared when I started chorus in my school, and we were doing that song, so.
Yeah, these songs draw from a couple of key things. One is some new music that we've bought or that was released, so it features kind of deep cuts from Pink and Taylor Swift. It's also got stuff from new albums by Superchunk, Waxahachie, lots of different newer artists that we've been getting into, so it kind of represents some new stuff. We also took some trips recently. So definitely a trip to California is a big influence on this. You'll sort of notice that. What are some California jams?
There's a song called The Golden State by John Doe. There's California by Phantom Planet.
Right, which you're going to talk about a little bit more in depth here in a minute. So kind of songs that we were jamming out on trips, and even some of those classic songs like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay and Sloop John B. Those are songs that we were listening to a 60s station on Sirius FM when we were driving around California. And these are songs that came on the radio and that we were really loving and were kind of fitting the kind of 60s bubblegum, sunny California vibe. Why are you giggling, Amelia?
The radio show was really weird that we listened to it on. And so, yeah, that just made me laugh. And like, so there's a lot of driving in California, as you know. There's not really public transportation. And so there's a song that reminded me, it's Car Song by Woody Guthrie. And so it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, getting in the back of the car. Yep, so that's on the playlist. So a lot of good stuff. It's 25 songs. It really runs the gamut. But we, as normal with our Jam Jams playlist debut, we kind of highlight. We each pick 3 songs that we want to highlight for whatever reason. So Amelia, why don't you kick us off? What's your first song you want to highlight?
My first song that I want to highlight is actually one I just talked about, which is California by Phantom Planet. It's just so, as we said, we just went to California. Sort of this beat in this song just gets like stuck in your head and you keep on going, you know. And
is that the tune, really?
No, but that's just what you expect from this kind of song.
Yeah, I queued this song up while we were driving through the sunny streets of Los Angeles. Of course, this song was the theme song to a TV show, I don't know, it was out like 10 or 12 years ago, called The O.C., which is all about teenagers in California. It's a great pop song, so should we drop a little bit of Phantom Planet's California on them?
Sure.
Well, hustlers, grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton. Driving down the 101, California, here we come. Right back where we started from, California.
All right, we'll bring it back to start my first highlighted song. A good friend and colleague who just had a baby reached out to me, and we've been going back and forth, and she's been kind of keeping herself busy with some hobbies and intellectual tasks, because being a mother to a small baby or a father can be a lot of stress. So it's good to have things to keep your mind sharp on other things as you take care of this young infant. And so we were going back and forth, and she was like, I want to know the Larry's Pop Pods recommendation for kids songs that aren't too cheesy. So I put together some Dan Zane, some Woody Guthrie. I'm trying to think what else. One other thing.
I think that's
some stuff from Yo Gabba Gabba, some Yo Gabba Gabba jams. But Spotify recommended this Backyardigan song called P.U. the Stinky Swamp Song. This is a stupid song, but it actually has kind of a funny parody of like kind of a swing jazz track, and we just kind of fell in love with it. So I'm going to drop my first track, P.U. Stinky Swamp Song by the Backyardigan.
And nobody that you know wanna be friends with you. P.U. look out, P.U. watch out, P.U. better jump, P.U. sure stinky. It smells like garbage, like dirty diapers, like moldy cheese, like mushy pee, like dirty socks on monster feet. But stinky says they don't sleep. P.U. look out, P.U. watch out, P.U. better jump, P.U. sure stinky.
My second song would be Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. I just explained...
By Otis Redding.
By Otis Redding. I just explained how I learned this song, actually, to you. But I'll recap. It was, I joined a chorus, and that was one of the songs that we were practicing for the big day. It's just got a nice tune. Otis Redding is another California-based song. It's actually San Francisco, Monterey Bay, that kind of area. So, here you go.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Yeah, that is such a classic track. That's another one when we were driving around listening to the 60 station in California, and we were actually in the Monterey Bay, San Francisco area. Kind of told Amelia about the whole history of that song and how about Otis Redding wrote it after having a great experience at Monterey Pop Music Festival in 1967. So we got a little bit of a history lesson there, and then she did it in chorus, so it sort of stuck with us and made its way to this playlist. My second jam is actually Waxahatchie's. I might be mispronouncing that. Waxahatchie, Never Been Wrong. I love this song. It was an album that our executive producer, Mary Moyer, bought for me, thinking that I would like that. It's on Merge Records, and she was definitely right. This song to me is like a real anthem. It really kind of at a moment when I needed this kind of the lyrics and the powerful punch of this track, it really kind of resonated with me, and has been just in my head and in my earbuds all winter long, going into the spring. So here's Waxahatchie's Never Been Wrong.
My jeans gigantic, am I happy a minute? Does it make you feel good to let me let go? Everyone will hear me complain. Everyone will pity my pain.
Wow, that song is actually like amazing, and I really like it. So my third and final one is Stop in the Name of Love. Actually by the Supremes. This song is just amazing, and there's actually a funny story behind it because we got my dad a Christmas present, which was actually a Christmas ornament, and it was a little record player that you press a button and it starts playing that song. And it just kind of gets into your like brain, and then you just start like humming it. And so here it is.
This is a really interesting playlist because there's a lot of actually brand new songs and like classic tracks. And two of your three choices were even classic tracks. So you're going deep cuts. My third track is actually super new. It's off the new album by Superchunk with their new album, What a Time to Be Alive. This album came out just, I think, a month ago, and actually in California we saw an acoustic performance by members of Superchunk at Amoeba Records in San Francisco, and they played this song actually. This is Dead Photographers off their new album, What a Time to Be Alive. Superchunk, classic band, still putting out really important, really timely, real message-oriented music here in 2018. I love it. Here we go. Dead Photographers.
So for this playlist, since we had like 3 slots left and we were totally stumped, we asked some people on Instagram
and Twitter
and Facebook, and here are some of the 3 songs they gave us.
All right, one was Radio Song by Simpson. Great kind of upbeat rap R&B song with female vocals. Great jam. I really liked it.
The second one was How Did This Happen by Bodega.
And both songs are totally new to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We love both of them. Those were sent in by fan Mooney out there in the internets. The third listener submission was also a track that was totally new to us, which was Kanika Cook with her track Moonchild.
The person who actually gave this suggestion to us was Mary in America.
Yes, and that is her Instagram username. So that was awesome. We're probably going to open up more slots in our next playlist, which we're already starting to piece together. So that'll be, it'll be a while, but we're already starting to think about what those 25 songs will be. And so we'd love to hear suggestions from out there. And it's now even easier now that everything is connected on Spotify. So you can, of course, get the link to this playlist right in the show notes. And you can follow it, you can listen to it, you can love it, you can criticize it, you can contact us either by ChrisLarry33 on Twitter or the Larry's Pop Pod on Instagram or directly through Spotify.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Of course, we're going to go out with a track. This is Lizzo's Water Me, a song that we have been rocking out since February. I mean, we would wake up and listen to this song. This was how we get ready for school, get ready for work. And now it's actually being used in the trailer and in the movie. What's it called?
Parents Can Be Blockers.
Parents Can Be Blockers, a new R-rated comedy, which means you and many of our young listeners will not be seeing it anytime soon. But it is used, but we want to say we were in on this song long before it was used in a movie. So we're going to go out here with a little bit of Lizzo's Water Me.
Bye-bye.